Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice, and at the end, a brief explanation for why we missed our Tuesday P&Q&C and A&T video, but we're just gonna skip that for now because we figure there's a decent chunk of people who probably don't care that much about that. Yeah. So getting into Injustice, the current challenge is Batman, Ninja Lord, Joker. That's a 1 week repeat, and the required characters for that are Harley Quinn, Deathstroke, and the Joker. So that's bronze, and silver if you were looking at the easiest way to get each of those required characters, which is good because they're all available in the store.
Right. And he's a good character. He's got high stats. His passive sounds more interesting than it is. So, Cult of the Demon King, when the Joker KOs an enemy for 10 seconds, his attacks deal 100% life drain, and enemy life drain heals him. Gunner teammates' special attacks cause 20% damage to the opponent's tagged out teammates. Gunners are Deadshot, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, Lobo, and the Joker. So the splash damage is kind of cool, but it isn't really game-changing unless you really lean into a bit and make him, or maybe somebody else on his team, this special specialist, and add extra splash damage gear to up the numbers a bit. So, you know, I think for Joker, it's his, I can't remember if it's just a special one or both a special one and a special two have a shooting damage. It's only the shooting part that counts. And yeah, so by itself, it's interesting. I've never really found that the 10 seconds of life drain makes any sort of a difference. I'm more a fan of the boosted offense instead of boosting defense, which is what you get with any healing ability. So he's okay. He's interesting. What I'm actually looking forward to is what might be next week's challenge, which we'll get into when we talk about the store.
This week's multiplayer reward is Flashpoint Aquaman, and his passive is Barrier Reef, which is during combat, Aquaman has a chance on combo enders to call the ocean to his aid. This drains all his opponent's power by 10%. Flashpoint characters on Aquaman's team gain a water shield on tag-in that reflects a 40% of special damage back at the enemy. Once hit, the shield is used up until the next tag-in. And so the calling the ocean to his aid is not as useful as the water shield. The water shield is, I think, really the strength of this passive, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, and it's even not that great. I mean, so first thing I should say too is this is probably 6th season. I mean, I've stopped counting after the ones that were needed to see him at Elite 10.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not that competitive. It'll be easier to rank up. And it won't make much difference about whether you're seeing him a lot at Elite 10 or not, because there's been lots of chances so far.
So he's legitimately at Elite 10, or at least has the potential to be on any teams you see him on.
That's right. Good stats, meaning because they're that high, you can do a Flashpoint team, have them at Elite 5, and you get maximum battle points in multiplayer. So like you were saying about the power drain, 10% is not a lot. Combo enders don't always happen. And as much as the reflection is better, the problem is you have to take damage to even give damage. Yeah,
it's not great, but it is decent as just like a bonus. It's ideally you're not getting hit by specials at all, but in suboptimal conditions, it's good to at least take 100% and deal 40% back.
Yeah,
for one special.
See, and he's one of the guys where his real strength is being Flashpoint. The fact that he's a Flashpoint, because the best passive is Flashpoint Batman's, which boosts critical damage. It actually doubles critical damage. And since there are only the 3 Flashpoint cards for now, even if Flashpoint Aquaman had no passive, exactly like Aquaman Prime, like Aquaman Prime has like the worst non-existent passive.
Yeah, because his passive is basically just a bad special.
Yeah, it's literally his special 2.
Yeah.
Summoning the soldier, and so there's nothing extra.
Yeah,
it's a special 2 and nothing else.
It's not even a good special 2.
Right.
It would be different if it's a great special 2, and that was instead of his passive. It's like Mortal Kombat X, where that one guy's passive was that he could get purchased for money.
Oh, he was cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the only thing that makes him that Aquaman, I mean, we're getting really off into weeds now, but that Aquaman is interesting because Tantu Totem gives him a chance to get power back.
Yeah.
And as he tags back in, he gets power again. and then he can just do repeated special ones at no cost and bleed out the other team. But that's sort of getting way off topic. Oh, and the other Flashpoint character, Deathstroke, his passive, where this special attacks get boosted damage because of Flashpoint teammates, and his combo ender gets more hits. That makes any Flashpoint teammate a good teammate, even if he can do nothing else.
Yeah, it's the synergy that makes him good, not necessarily him in and of himself, but it's the Flashpoint moniker.
Right, and so the great thing is, it only takes you 2 seasons in the top 1% to get you enough to Elite 5 and have maximal battle points and really fast fights.
Yeah, so there we go. In the store, we have the Ninja Batman cash pack for $25.99. It's not worth it. You get 1 copy and he won't unlock in your store, but as you mentioned earlier, that might be a clue for next week's challenge.
And Ninja Batman, in my mind, is a lot better than Joker. If he comes up, we'll talk about that next week.
We also have the Suicide Squad bundle for $26.99. That's Canadian. These are Canadian, just in case you were wondering, because we are in Canada, so we don't know the US prices. And that comes with Harley Quinn and Joker, and it's interesting because you get 2 random gear, I think, as a drop out of 5 potential gear. So there's a 10% chance for each of the companion gear, the Suicide Squad companion gear. There's a 35% chance for the Harley Quinn gear and Joker gear, so that's the pistols and the .357 pistols.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? I mean, it feels like almost a kick in the face, because for Android at least, we had more than a year where we were only getting Suicide Squad companion gear.
That's true.
So there's 30% chance of these really fancy rare gears that we've been stuck with for God knows how long in Survivor. And see, there was another Joker gear that they could have put there that would have been legendary and would have made it more interesting. The Quake engine.
That's a good point.
That was a totally missed opportunity.
Yeah. Instead, they're giving us the Suicide Squad companion gear, which, if we haven't been able to get it in the last 2 years, I would hazard to guess we haven't been trying very hard to get.
That's right.
As far as Phantom Zone, it's not active. It feels like it's been more teen a month, but it might just have been be just over a month or something like that since it was last there. So we should be expecting it relatively soon, unless they're switching up the formula.
Right. Fight 62 still broken. And League of Assassins gear, what's funny is last week it said it was until 17th of April, and this week it just doesn't have a date anymore.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's until a time in the future, maybe 17th of April. Maybe not.
And we've confirmed that we're getting it, right? But some people are still reporting that randomly they're getting the announced gear and also Suicide Squad companion gears when they've disconnected from the internet trying to exploit the airplane mode / refund glitch. And we have not been getting that.
Yeah.
But maybe it's useful for people who are listening that the way we do it is we don't disconnect from the internet until we are right on the ha 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 page, and right before we make our first selection, we're connected all the way up until that point. We do a few fights in Survivor, we click on cash out, and then on that page we disconnect.
So there we go. Moving on to the current glitches, just remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. We are Android only, so we're only able to confirm these glitches for Android. And a quick spoiler alert, nothing has changed this week. So if you remember from last week, or if you have a sort of running sort of mental picture of what is working is not working, or if you've looked at the glitch playlist sometime recently, you don't need to re-listen to this portion, but we will talk a little bit more in detail about what each of the glitches are and what they do for people who are interested here.
Right. So maybe we start with the significant not working glitches.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, if you're on iOS, help each other out in the comments. We can't do anything for iOS, like we said, so you guys are each other's best resource. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. Good point. So there's no working glitch for credits. You might be talking with people who are saying that there is one, and they use 2 devices. So we went into this in way more detail in a previous episode of our P and Q and C and A and T, specifically season 6, episode 9. But just, the too long didn't read version is that same account, 2 devices, it's dangerous. That's the only time we've ever been inadvertently banned. So we're not going to test it, we're not going to endorse it, and that's why in our minds there's no real sort of safe working glitch for credits.
Yeah. Glitch for getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards is not working, and hand in hand with that, the glitch for getting early multiplayer season rewards is not working. There's currently no glitch to get through the Phantom Zone quickly as well.
All right, so maybe we get to working glitches now. Breakthrough glitch to let you play it repeatedly is still working. There is a comment from a viewer that's been cut and pasted into the description, and that's a potential solution for people who are having trouble playing the extra breakthroughs, but we can't confirm it because we are not having the same problem.
Yep. The Google Play Cloud Save challenge reset is working. That's confirmed on Batman Ninja Lord Joker. And just a note, the challenge reset can remove Phantom Zone progress when Phantom Zone is present. So the Phantom Zone event is back. Keep that in mind. You have to be willing to lose whatever Phantom Zone crystal progress you have when you use the glitch at the time that you use the glitch.
Right. And as I mentioned earlier, to the airplane mode / refund glitch, that is still working. It is good for anything that has random drops, like the packs, and also for last laugh tickets. It did not work for the Phantom Zone when it was around because it required an online connection, and the stuff that other people have been talking about that seems to work for iOS users did not work for us as far as logging in and out of accounts. So not for us.
And here's something, we've mentioned this a lot of times, so I think we don't need to harp on it, but the cost of the cheapest Nth Metal pack is 200, and the price to sell back any Nth Metal character is 240. So you can use the airplane mode / refund glitch to get 40 Nth Metal if you're willing to reset it every time you don't get a metal character from the pack. You can do it, you don't have to do it. We've talked about this at length previously, so I don't think we need to go into too much detail here.
And just important to point out, we still haven't had any other opportunity, no new packs or anything that actually gives you access to Valorium Alloy, which is not available by cache or glitching or anything else, only from the Phantom Zone. And that's going to limit what you're going to be able to do with your Nth Metal, because those metal characters, they don't, what do you call it with the specials? They don't promote their own specials. You need Valorium Alloy, and you can't get it.
Yeah, it's not cash or anything. It's its own currency to promote, to get their specials better.
Right.
To upgrade their
specials. There's a lot of currencies in this.
There's a lot of currencies now, yeah. Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. As always, return your clock back to normal before you finish. Free energy without having to watch the video still works. We've been getting the button ungrayed out intermittently, and we don't need to watch the video when the button is ungrayed out. When the button is grayed out, we don't even have the opportunity to watch the video. We've also cut and pasted Dragon's 952's potential solution into the description. That's an iOS user. If the free energy button is grayed out for you on iOS, we can't confirm its effectiveness, but you go ahead and try that if you're having issues.
All right, and that
you're
brings
lucky
us to the final. Yeah, I get to talk about the one glitch that's neither working nor not working.
In a state of limbo.
Yeah, so that was the promotion glitch where we could promote characters that are still locked in the store because the conditions have not been right since update 2.14, so we can't test it and we can't do anything with it. And here's the funny thing, okay? So one of those conditions is having the challenge in the first slot of the main page where it cycles through the different sort of things that are going on. But that challenge has been consistently in the second slot with a cash pack in the first. So even if the other conditions come back, this glitch still won't be doable. And I guess we'll eventually remove it once the required conditions show up and it fails us the first time. I guess that my point is just that it looks like the required conditions will never show up.
And I think something interesting, you said it is both working and not working. I think it is either one or the other. We just have no way of knowing. I don't think it's quite in a superposition of being working and not working. I think it definitely is either working or not working. It's almost certainly not both.
It's in a quantum state.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That's it. Yeah, we should mention the reason or reasons that we didn't have a video this Tuesday is it is exam season for me, and yesterday I had my calculus final, which was worth 40% of my calculus grade. So I was studying. I decided that it wasn't a great idea to take like an hour worth of like recording plus the fiddling around before and after for however long that took to get a video out, and I should instead focus on doing better than I would have otherwise in calculus.
Right. Well, I want to point out too, like we've got more than 700 videos, and most of them are made hours, like an hour or two before we post them.
Yeah.
and we typically don't have much banked away. I mean, except sometimes when we go away or when updates drop and there's a whole lot of content, and we don't want to post all the videos at once.
Yeah.
So any kind of interruption in our lives results in interruptions to this channel,
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but looking back, I'm surprised actually at how seldom that happens, considering it's been years.
That's
since
true.
We started this.
Yeah, so there we go. That was why that content wasn't there. We should be back and good to go soonish. Although unfortunately, this upcoming Wednesday, I have a chemistry exam.
So maybe we'll try to film a little earlier.
Maybe.
So the funny thing is, I mean, if we're talking a P and Q and C and A and T, like the recap video last week I did on my own, just to make sure that there was one. But it's hard to have a conversation with myself, which is what we typically do on those, you know, Q and A, P and C, Q and C and A and T videos.
Yeah. So that's the sort of video that you can't quite make by yourself, unfortunately.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So there we go. And I think to finish up, we should mention briefly that we have a Patreon. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/bdckr or clicking our icon at the bottom right corner at the end of this video. But more importantly than that, we need to give a huge thank you to the people who are already making that decision to support us. So that's a huge thank you to Console Peasant, Eddie G, who are supporting us at the top tier. Last Word, iProfit, that's iProfit3 on YouTube, who's supporting us at the Your Message Here tier, and Sean Farrell and Daniel Simonson, who are supporting us on the credited level, not to mention Chris Wolf and Laszlo Jajades on the gratitude tier. So thank you guys.
Hold on, can I say something though? Because we missed Tuesday this week. We should mention their names again.
Okay, do you wanna?
I want to give them a shout out.
Okay.
Thank you very much to Console Peasant, Eddie G, iProfit, Sean Farrell, and Daniel Simonson, and Chris Wolf and Laszlo Jajades.
So thank you guys all so much for your support. Evidently, it's not enough to make us be 100% consistent with our content, but we are still doing our best. And
hey, good luck on your exams.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And thank you to all of you so much for listening or watching, and good luck to all of you guys on anything that you have coming up. Maybe exams, who knows, whatever, anything going on in your life. Just sort of generally good luck. We'll see you guys next time. Komoda.